His Excellency Mauricio Macri, President of the Argentine Republic and head of the G20, His Excellency Mr. Recep Erdogan, President of the Republic of Turkey and head of the Organization of Islamic Countries, His Excellency Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of the Republic of Jamaica and head of CARICOM, or the Caribbean Community, Dr. Stergomena Tax, Executive Secretary of SADC, Dr. Ibrahim Hassan Mayaki, the Chief Executive Officer of NEPAD, and Dr. Kundapa Vaman Kamath, President of the BRICS New Development Bank. The 10th BRICS Summit will be an important milestone as it represents a decade of BRICS cooperation. The summit will culminate in the adoption of what we call the Johannesburg Declaration, which will include our joint commitments for the year ahead. South Africa has proposed the following for adoption at the summit. 1, the establishment of a working group on peacekeeping. 2, the establishment of a vaccine research center for collaboration with BRICS vaccine innovation and development partners. This is intended to be a physical research center focused on research and development and vaccine innovation. The establishment of a BRICS Gender and Women's Forum, which is intended as a dedicated track for gender and women's issues, given the economic benefit to be derived from the socio-economic empowerment of women, particularly in developing countries, leveraging the strategy for BRICS economic partnership towards the pursuit of inclusive growth and advancing the fourth industrial revolution. This is intended to foster discussions to address opportunities provided by the fourth industrial revolution, and finally, the establishment of a BRICS tourism track of cooperation. We believe that these proposals will go a long way in consolidating cooperation amongst the BRICS partners as we enter the second decade of BRICS. Although our leaders and heads of state will focus much of their attention on intra-BRICS cooperation, they are also cognizant of the fact that BRICS exists within a broader global political and economic environment. With this understanding in mind, we expect that the leaders and heads of state will review the political and security environment globally and express their views accordingly. BRICS countries understand that inclusive socio-economic development cannot be achieved in a world that is insecure and unsafe. As BRICS members, we understand that the United Nations remains the universal multilateral organization entrusted with the mandate for maintaining international peace and security, advancing global development, and promoting and protecting human rights. South Africa will remain chair of BRICS until 31 December 2018. The next chair is the Republic of Brazil. For the remaining period of our tenure, we will tirelessly work with our partners to implement our decisions and deepen the level of cooperation, not only intergovernmentally, but through other sectors, including business, civil society, youth, women, etc. We have no doubt, given the support we have already enjoyed since becoming BRICS chair at the beginning of January, that the summit you will be attending will be a resounding success. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, DM. We will ask Minister to make a few remarks, then we take the questions.
Thank you very much. I'd like first to thank the Deputy Minister for standing in for all of us IMC as we wrapped up our preparations. The reason why we called you here to address you is to indicate to you that we are in a state of readiness, that we've completed a month's work of intensive preparation for BRICS, and as the Deputy Minister has read out to you, we are confident that it will be a resounding success. We've put everything in place that should be in place. And we are very proud of the amount of work that has been put in, both by the Sherpas and by everybody else who has been leading the various forums that have been running alongside this. I think we, in the input, in the statement, we omitted to indicate to you that there is also a forum on academics that has done incredible work, and hopefully will be producing a booklet that we will be able to circulate to you on various academics in engaging with the issue of BRICS and what it means. And we will have that booklet given to you so you become part of the educated elite. We also have a youth forum, very active youngsters who want to take advantage of the situation and take the future into their hands. And that is, I think, a very vibrant forum. We will make it possible, I hope, that the leaders of this fora, of these fora, will have the space that we have right now to address you on what they have done, what they propose to do, and what they stand for. But for now, we are very ready for the summit, and thank you for being here. We hope to see you tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that one. Thank you.
Round of questions. We'll take a round of questions. Can we have the microphones on standby? We will take 3 questions at a round, and then we'll come back. You just have to tell us your name, the media you come from. Can I start at the back there? Tali? Karin?
Hi, Karin de Plessis, freelance journalist. I just want to ask, Deputy Minister, you're reading out the invited, or the countries that were invited or that accepted the invites. Could you please just say, Egypt and Indonesia were also on the original list. Why are they not coming? Why did they decline?
All we know at this point is that they are not coming. We were not provided with reasons for their non-attendance.
A second question. If you can just stand up when you ask your question.
Can I continue on that? The date of BRICS was set, and we were hoping that it would be a time that would be convenient for everybody to come down. In some cases, it may not have been convenient. However, in the case of Egypt, they might, the head of state is not coming, but they are sending a representative. So in those cases where the head of state is not coming, a representative of that country will be in the sessions. Thank you.
We'll take another one right next to Karin there. I see you, ma'am. I see you.
Hi, good afternoon. It's Kylie here from ENCA. I just want to ask Minister and the Deputy Minister, you know, for South Africa, you've always been saying you want to see BRICS working for Africa. So with all these heads of states that are coming from the continent, so what is Pretoria's envisaged goal, you know, just for Africa, especially in light of signing of the agreement, expanding the trade area? Thank you.
Question? There was a lady there. Right here with glasses. Yes, Tari.
Thank you. I'm from People's Daily from China, and I have a question for 2 ministers. And Chinese President Xi Jinping published a signed article titled "For a New Era of China-South Africa Friendship," right, on 3 South African newspapers. So I'd like to know, have you read the article, and what's your comment? And my second question...
is one question.
Oh.
Let's take another, the third one. Gentleman here.
Can I ask one more question?
Yes, you will get a second round.
Okay, the second one is...
It's okay. Okay, the gentleman here.
Thank you very much. My name is Shoichiro Beppu. I'm from NHK, Japan's public broadcaster. Madam Minister, my question is about your perspective about the discussions. How much do you think the discussions about the so-called trade war could impact or even dominate the discussions of the head of state? Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll deal with those 2, Minister.
What is there for...
They will increase the volume.
You know, when we joined BRICS because we wanted BRICS to work for us as South Africa. BRICS has worked for us as South Africa. We're now able to announce that we've established the bank, the BRICS Bank. We are now able to indicate that we have established and we will hopefully domicile the vaccine center in South Africa. However, we would like to make sure that the rest of Africa can benefit in the same way that we are benefiting from this, especially now that Africa has begun to work out ways in which we can have free trade areas, and most of us have signed that, a great leap ahead for Africa. We would like to make sure that whatever possibilities exist in BRICS are available for the rest of Africa. We have created a special outreach so that African countries can come, and an additional special outreach to make sure that SADC countries can come in particular. We are currently chair of SADC, and most of the issues that we are dealing with in SADC, we feel are issues that they would benefit from if they had direct access to BRICS itself. Should I go into the trade? No.
Yes. I did have the privilege of reading Xi Jinping's,
Well, that was the live crossing to a BRICS media briefing in Sandton, north of Johannesburg this hour. That summit due to open on Wednesday this week. Small Business Development Minister, South Africa, of course, Lindiwe Sisulu, indicating that it's all systems go for the 10th BRICS Summit in Sandton this week. We also heard about South Africa's two-pronged outreach program, BRICS Africa Dialogue and BRICS Plus Corporation. Peter.
Yeah, and one of the things that she mentioned is that this is going to be very much a conference that's going to represent the continent, and in that respect, heads of state from Namibia, Gabon, and Togo, Rwanda will be attending this BRICS outreach. And also from the region, we'll be expecting leaders from Argentina, Turkey, Jamaica's Prime Minister is due to come, as well as leaders at SADC, NEPAD, and also the New Development Bank. And in fact, the New Development Bank, the BRICS Development Bank, the first branch outside of Shanghai, which is head office, was opened in Africa. So there's going to be a lot discussed in the next few days. But we're going to be giving you updates throughout the course of this week. That's just literally the first kind of test ahead of the summit, and they're saying they're ready.
And of course, focus also this.
That is what we would like to concentrate on right now. What the presidents themselves will be discussing would be their natural bilateral relations and how we strengthen them, and what it is that is in it for us as BRICS to grow from strength to strength. We will be looking at how we have fared over the past 10 years. It's been a very productive 10 years for us. This is a milestone session for us, coming on the 100th year of Nelson Mandela, and at a time when we are hoping that the heads of state will be able to put their imprints on the clay that will be placed at the cradle of humankind, that will forever indicate that here are these people who came together to make sure that we can have a better life for all throughout the 5 countries, and also reach out to the other African countries to benefit from that. The trade wars we would like to leave to other areas and other fora to the extent that it will be possible. But of course, it is a dominant factor in international relations, so there's no way that it can be avoided. Thank you.
3, there's a lady here in front. Let's start with you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Minister, Deputy Minister. Valdi Karelse, China Global Television Network. I'm wondering if you could let us know which other African countries South Africa thinks should be allowed to join the BRICS bloc.
Okay, another one. You're there. Yes.
Thanks. Hi, it's Kate Bartlett from the German press agency. I have a 2-part question. Firstly, it would be great to have from Wednesday to Friday some idea of what's happening at what times and what hours between us arriving and going home at the end of the day, because we have no kind of agenda so far of when we're going to be spoken to by the various delegations, spokespeople, etc. And the second half of the question is that in the centenary of Mandela's birth, we have quite a few heads of state, Xi Jinping and Putin, as well as Turkey's Erdogan, coming to South Africa who are not from democratic regimes. Will South Africa, will Mr. Ramaphosa be using this opportunity to speak to them about democratic policy? Thank you.
Okay. There's a third one here in the middle.
Peter Fabricius, also freelance journalist. We understand that the African Regional Centre of the new development bank is proposing loans for projects in African countries outside South Africa. Will that require these African countries to actually become members of the bank? Or how will those projects be facilitated? Thank you.
Okay, we'll take a last one on this round. Lehana.
Lehana Tsoteti from SABC. My question is actually to find out the countries that have been invited, the international leaders who will be coming here. What's their contribution expected to be in BRICS, and how do you see these countries forging common ties to work with big countries?
Okay, thank you. Minister? GM?
Will the media be kept informed in the course of the summit? What we will do, and I'm going to ask Mabaya to do this for us, we'll give you the program. We will also possibly give you the program of the ministers who will be available to come and respond to questions here. We will make available to you the heads of the various forums. For instance, we have a forum on a business forum, Minister Davis. We have the minister responsible for the youth forum, who is Minister Dlamini Zuma. We have the minister responsible for the forum of women, Batabile Dlamini. We have the minister responsible, various other forums that we have. We will give you a program so that you are able to choose which session you want to come to. And on a regular basis, we ourselves will come here and report to you what progress there is in the various sessions that we're having. We have also identified Mabaya here to be the spokesperson for all of us so that we're able to continuously communicate with you. We called you here because we would like the world to know we're meeting here in South Africa to celebrate the 10th anniversary of a very successful summit, a very successful coming together of these countries that have been working together and have produced what we are about to inform you in the coming 2 or 3 days that we'll be here. So we will make it possible for you to have ultimate access to everything that you have, except the heads of state, of course. The second question was, will we take the opportunity to be the teachers and mentors of governments that seem not to be taking the path that we are taking? I think that we have very good relations with all the countries that we have invited. We've been engaging with them for the last, I don't know how many years that we've been in democracy. They know our views. We respect their views. And at every given time, we exchange views. This would not be the first time that we meet. So we would not be seeking to be big brother talking to anybody about any values. But we do talk about our values and how we value our own system of government.
Thank you, Minister. Peter and members of the media, membership of the BRICS New Development Bank is open to borrowing and non-borrowing members. As a board of governors, the bank may accept, as observers at meetings, members from international financial institutions. To fulfill its purpose, the bank shall support public or private projects through loans, guarantees, equity participation, and other financial instruments. The African Regional Centre, upon commencement of business, and it has commenced business, will immediately be open to consider projects on the African continent. Countries on the continent are expected to shortlist projects for immediate implementation. And then finally, as a borrower and as a member state, South Africa will use the bank as an alternative source of financing for our own infrastructure build program or infrastructure development plans, as well as for regional integration initiatives.
Okay, we'll take the last round. Only hand. Oh.
Hello. My question was relating to. My question was relating to the international guests that have been invited, as to what are the expectations in the BRICS Summit, and how do you hope to expand relations with them in terms of forging working ties between BRICS and those countries?
Well, one of the reasons why we decided to take the path that we have taken now of having BRICS outreach is to make sure that we can make BRICS accessible to all other countries that we relate to. And we have invited the BRICS outreach presidents to be with us, engage with us, and benefit from what we believe they can benefit from, especially economically. We've also invited the ministers of SADC, because we as SADC have worked very effectively together as a bloc. We operate as a bloc, and we would like to make sure that those countries that think alike are able to benefit alike. I don't know if that is... And the most important part also for the last day is there will be an opportunity of bilaterals, so that each head of state who is here will have the opportunity in one space to be interacting with more than one head of state on whatever issue they might have on their bilateral agenda. So we are offering them that space, and it's a very prized space, especially for heads of state.
Minister, there was another question from there. Which other countries should join BRICS? Which other African countries?
We're not opening shop yet.
Okay, the last round that we are taking, the gentleman in front here.
No, but you know, she's asking this for a particular reason. No? Okay, BRICS is BRICS. It's a genuine question. BRICS at the moment is BRICS. Thank you.
If I could just add to what Minister said, I addressed a group of students and academics at WITS, and the same question was asked. And with me was former minister in the Indira Gandhi government, Mr. Sharma, who's still a member of parliament. When the question was posed, I turned and looked at him and I said, Comrade Sharma, he says, no one is joining. We're not going to allow it. So.
But I can guess from where I'm sitting what African country you are thinking of.
Okay, we'll take another round in front here, gentlemen.
My name is Blessing from Studio 7. Among the African leaders you have invited are some who are being accused of being dictators, leaders who don't respect human rights. Why would BRICS want to sit down with such people?
Okay. The gentleman next to you there.
Yeah, Minister John Fraser from The Messenger. We're all acutely aware of the need for jobs in South Africa and for investment in our country. The President did very well when he was in the Middle East in getting some cash. Are you expecting him to get any this week from any of the distinguished visitors? And secondly, given that some of your distinguished visitors have a pretty horrid record of oppression of the media, can we feel secure in this building, please?
Thank you.
No, I must answer that one. I must answer.
Okay.
I really must answer that one.
Okay. Okay.
We are the host of the summit. We in South Africa have given you the freedom that you enjoy on a regular basis. Why would it change now? We are your hosts. The people who are coming to South Africa are coming here because the summit is here and we are the chair of BRICS right now. So at no point should that question ever arise that there would be any way in which you would be, your rights would be curtailed. We assure you of that. I needed to do that.
Okay. I'll take the gentleman from Mozambique there.
Thank you very much. Hello, hello. Hello, yes, TV Mozambique. We have the information that the president of Mozambique is coming. Are you aware of that? 2, what can SADC countries expect from this summit? Any agreement, any promise of loans or something like that?
Okay, I'll take SABC there at the back.
Good afternoon. Okay. Yes, my name is Ntebu Mukoba. I'm with the SABC. I deliberately chose to ask at the end because mine is not related to BRICS as such, but on the state visit by the Chinese president. Minister, what do we stand to benefit, or what is likely to be on the agenda of tomorrow's meeting between President Ramaphosa and his Chinese counterpart? And maybe if I could sneak in one question on BRICS. Since South Africa joined the BRICS club, is there anything tangible that we can say we've benefited over the past years of our participation in BRICS? Thank you. Especially in terms of projects.
Okay. Minister, we'll hand over to the minister.
Well, shall I start with the Mozambican one? Do we know if the Mozambican president is coming? We invited him, and he has accepted. Does that answer the question? He will be here. The other question, which I will be jumping around as and when I noted, the other question was, seeing as President Ramaphosa is on a campaign to create more jobs and get more investment, and has done very well in the Middle East, very well indeed between the two countries that he visited. Yes, he is on a campaign to create more jobs. He is on a campaign to attract investment. He will be hosting the investment forum in October. He has invited his BRICS partners, those who are available to come to that investment. And therefore, of course, this will be also at the top of his agenda, because that is what we would like to do. We would like to create an economy that is vibrant, that is viable, where we can create jobs. We're very concerned about our low economic growth. We're very concerned about our high unemployment. And that will be part of what we will be discussing with the BRICS members. Exactly how it is going to pan out, I have no idea. When we go on a state visit and we speak with the business community, we have found they have pledged to us. We have not gone begging. They have pledged to us. We are attracted by South Africa. We would like to come and invest in South Africa. And if this happens at BRICS, we would be overjoyed, because we would really net in a handsome amount of investment for this country.
I have a question to ask.
Ma'am, we are still answering.
Sorry, wait.
Just one question, very brief, very brief.
We are still answering. We are
Okay.
still answering. We are still answering.
One more question?
We are still answering.
Sorry.
There was a question: why would we invite people who have a horrible track record of democracy? I don't know if any of the people that we have invited have been convicted and found guilty of any crimes against humanity. However, to the extent that it is possible, we will always make sure that we can lead by example. It has never hurt anybody to learn from other people. We have learned from other people. We have the kind of democracy that we have, and we like to showcase the kind of democracy that we have. If it can influence other people to behave differently, we will only have gained so much more. But we have not closed our doors to anybody. We've interacted with everybody, and we've invited people to come and see how our democracy is working, how our institutions are working, take part in assisting us grow our economy, and all of those things that we have pledged ourselves to in the BRICS countries. Thank you.
At that point, we'll thank the ministers. Minister, DM. Oh, there's a state visit. The state visit. The importance of the state visit. The benefits to the country.
That would really be preempting something that we occasionally we exchange state visits with countries that we have relations with. As you know, that in October we will be going to China as part of FOCAC, and that is a very focused group of countries dealing with our economies, and we have invited the President of China to come on a state visit, and we intend to take him to Kruger Park. We intend to show him the sights. We intend to spend some time with them. You know, relations are not just about what we can get economically. It is also about building solid relations. It is about building partnerships on a whole variety of matters, culturally and in every other way. So I wouldn't be able to indicate what we are able to benefit from the Chinese, what projects there are. Those we will leave to the presidents and to announce as and when they leave or when they address you. We will make sure that we create that opportunity, and they will be here to announce what it is that they've put together as part of the package of exchange that we have on a regular basis.
Now we thank the minister. Minister, as we release the minister and the dear, is this still a question? Is there... She said last question. Oh, okay. Ma'am, thank you very much.
Very brief. I want to know that how do you look at the diplomatic relations between China and South Africa in the past 20 years? And what's your expectations for the next 20 years? Thank you.
All right. Well, we've always had excellent relations with China. South Africa has wholeheartedly adopted the one China policy. China stood by us in the bad old years. And so, as I said earlier to another question, the state visit by President Xi Jinping and his discussions with President Cyril Ramaphosa can only augur well for the future of our two countries. And we're looking forward to the outcomes of their discussions and their interactions. Thank you.
Thank you. I will ask members of the media not to get up so that we can just take you through the program for tomorrow and the day after. We have developed a media program for you.
Can we leave?
Yeah, the minister can leave and the DM. So we'll allow the minister and the DM to leave, and then we'll just remain with members of the media for 5 minutes. We are going to email it. We'll email it with the statement of today. But we can release the minister and the DM. The minister has a request.
I have a request to the media. We would like you, if you're not sure of the facts that you have, please to call our spokesperson so that we don't misrepresent what is happening. We have taken a long time to put this together. We're very proud of the relations that we've built around BRICS. We're very proud of what we have done for our country out of BRICS. We would like you to represent what it is as truthfully as possible. Should you have any doubts, Mabaya will give you his cell phone and you can check so that you report as accurately as possible. We'll be very grateful for that. Thank you very much.
We thank the Minister. Thank you, DM. Thank you very much, Shepherd. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. We just thought we must just share with you. We will make available later today a media program that includes all the activities that are open to the media, but also indicate to you all the other things that are happening in the program. Every day we'll have a media briefing. Tomorrow's one will be at 11 o'clock in the same room. It will consist of the Sherpas. The Sherpas are the technical people who are working on the documents, and ministers are available as well from the IMC. We'll also have another one on the 25th. So every day we'll have a media briefing that is indicated in your media program. The media program also makes available to you almost the whole program of what's happening, which day, what time, and all of that. So all of that will be emailed before you sleep. We are working on the basis that you sleep at around 12 in the evening. So we'll work on it together with today's statement. They will come through to you. I just thought I must also indicate that from tomorrow, we will not allow anyone to enter the media center without accreditation. You will need to have accreditation. If you have not received your accreditation, please go and receive it. Let me also introduce you to Nelson Huete and Tuso Zibula. Where is Nelson? That's the gentleman there. If you can stand up, Chief. So if you can't see me, Nelson is there. Where is Zibula? There is Mberengwa there. Mberengwa, please come in. There is another media team member there. Where is Terence? So all of them are here in the media center. We are based here. Anything that you need is here. There are colleagues from GCIS as well, colleagues from Presidency. We'll introduce them fully tomorrow when all of you are here. Is there any question that we must deal with on logistics? Let me start that side. Ma'am? Yeah. Mr. Huete, Mr. Zibula will coordinate all the interviews. So if you want to request an interview for your show, for anything, Mr. Huete is there with a tie, Mr. Zibula is there, and any member of the media team, they will be here. Yes, sir. It's you, sir. Yes.
Yes, again from NHK, from Japan's public broadcaster. Question one is, when exactly do you think we can see the 5 head of states together? Will it happen in the afternoon of Wednesday, or should we rather wait for Thursday morning? My second question, I think which everyone wants to know, about when do you expect that Joburg Declaration would be adopted and announced?
Okay. The summit is starting on the 25th. Okay? It's not starting today. It's not starting tomorrow. It's starting on the 25th. Am I correct? That is Wednesday, South African time. That day, you will most probably see 3 or 4 heads of state in the business meeting. On the 26th, the photographers will see all the 5 heads of state first before all of you at the family photo. So you will see that in the media program. It's clear where they will be and all of that. So you will see them. Yes, I think so. Morning of Thursday. 26, on Thursday, you will see them at the family photo. We will pull through the photographers to take the family photos and then bring them back together with the official media. As you'll understand, there is a number of you here. We are using a pooling system. which consists of official media and some of you. The greatest number will be at the opening ceremony. We still have to decide how many is that, but we will make sure that you continue to receive material. As you are aware, the SABC is the official broadcaster. Everything will be coming here to the media center. We also have photographers, we also have sound. So if you are not at a function, somewhere, you must know that the material is here. The colleagues who are dealing with the syndication will be able to also talk to you tomorrow about how is that going to work. I want to leave that to the presidents. The Sherpas, these are the technical people, are working on it. But let's allow the presidents to work on it and then they will tell us when they're done. What if they extend the summit by another day? I'm not planning anything. The presidents are negotiating the job. I don't know. I'm saying to you, the summit is starting on the 25th. It's ending on the 27th. The summit is starting on the 25th. It's ending on the 27th. In between those dates, there will be a job declaration. It's okay. Take the word of that colleague. But the Sherpas are coming tomorrow here. You can ask them. The people who are engaging with the documents are here tomorrow. But if there is a colleague who told you that it will be available on Thursday, go with that colleague.
Mr. Mabaya, just a quick logistical question.
There's a gentleman who raised his hand before you. Democracy? Okay. You will see when you receive the media program. Ma'am?
Hi, Mr. Mabaya, just a quick clarification. For those of us in 24-hour news, what time does the center open and close so that we know whether or not we can schedule lives here?
The media center opens at 8 o'clock in the morning. It closes when we close. I think we can work at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Should we do 9 o'clock? Maybe 9:30? Let's work on it. But the media center is here. Okay? We'll try to open it for as long as possible. Okay, thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock.